We're just getting started. Ah. Woo! Oh, I'm not. Okay, yes. Hey, Nils. How's everybody doing? Oh, Sean is here.
Am I the only one here?
Lauren is here. Ellie is here. Sheepishness is here. Everybody's here. Uke Korea? Am I saying that right? I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Hey, Becca and Ileana and Lauren and Lulo and Singing Poet. Ooh, Singing Poet. I haven't seen you in a while. Emma. Hey, Paige. Ashley Boston Volleyball and Hope Britt Beth the Kitty Cat. Tony Perkins. How's everybody doing? Emily. Hello. No school internet. Oh, just the chat sheep. That's frustrating. Just got out of class? Nice. I know, early live stream. Hey. It's just been a little busy lately. That's why I haven't done a Wednesday one in a while. Awkward Strawberries here. Floating Cloud. Amy. Is it Amy or Ami? Because I know an Ami and her name is spelled just like that. I know, Heidi. That was such a bummer. Next time. Oh, Sean is at the casino. Can you, like, stop the... Sean, it's so loud.
That's not my fault.
That is your fault. You didn't win anything. You just gave me 10 likes.
I won everything. You got 10 likes from me.
Oh, Cher is here. Hi, Ileana. Thanks, Smashing Pumpkin. Oh, cool, Junie. Welcome. So let's hang out. What do we want to do today? What are the things that we want to do? Do we want to do a ton of guesting? Do we not want to guest today and want to just answer as many questions as we can? I have the giveaways prepped. I have not gone. Thanks, Emily, for the likes. I have not got. Well, you had the music just a cranking. He's like, be quiet, Katie. You're yelling. So, anyways, oh, you're in a hotel? Oh, Eddie, where are you? Or is it Edie? We've done this before. I know. I'm sorry. I should have notes. I should have notes about all the names and pronunciations. So, anyways, what would we like to do today? I haven't been doing them on Wednesdays because I've been preparing to go to Australia. But before I go to Australia, I have to go to DC. And I leave this Friday and I come back on Sunday. And I hope to see all your beautiful faces there at Playlist Live. Hey, Jamie. I will see Jamie there. Are any of you less guesting? Ashley says less guesting. Oh, Macy, we can talk about more LGBTQ plus and mental health stuff. Definitely. Thanks, Katie. Thanks, Awkward Strawberry. So anyway, that's why I haven't been doing the Wednesday broadcast as often, is just because I have been prepping videos, filming a lot of videos, editing videos, and preparing a talk at a school in Melbourne. Pray for me. They want me to talk for an hour and a half, you guys. I'm only talking for an hour because they're teenagers. Like, come on. So I'm only talking for an hour and then leave the last half hour for questions. So hopefully that works. Oh, June, another June is at work too. Aaron P is here. Hey. So anyways, if we don't, I know, right, Britt? It's like, pray for me. Pray for them too. I don't want to put them to sleep. Like, I was just finishing the, like, oh, thanks, Navana Sparkles is here. Hey. Oh, Maddie is at band camp. That is exciting. Anyways, yes, you are at the right place if you're looking for advice, Gaurav. You're hiding in your car on your lunch break. I actually wondered about that, Jamie. I was like, it's about the lunch break time for those of you who are on the East Coast. Oh, I'm sorry, sheep. That's okay. Don't worry about it, though. It doesn't matter. It's okay. Anyway, so yeah, I think I'll be fine too, Lauren. I think that everybody will be super nice. I just don't want to waste their time, so I want to make sure I'm helping them and I'm, giving them really helpful information and doing all that stuff. And so I'm just making sure that it's good. So it's got to be good. Thanks, Danny. Anyway, so that's kind of what I've been doing. That's why I haven't done one on a Wednesday in a while. Just been trying to play catch up. But yeah, I can't wait to see all of you in DC. I can't wait to meet all of you in Melbourne. Oh, Sean's monkeying around over there. Yeah, so we'll be on for 2 hours today. I'll get off at 11. I have to go meet a friend for lunch. So I'm excited to catch up with Allie. So I'll get to go see her. Oh, Middle Eastern food, Erin. That sounds yummy, yummy, yummy. Anyway, so that's about it, Maisie. I'm not coming to the UK anytime soon. I would love to, but, cost and time off and all that stuff. Thanks, Navana Sparkles. You guys like my cup? It's funny, most of Sean and I's mugs now are all Kenyan based. Water bottles, mugs, you name it. If like, you know, some kind of drink goes in it, someone has sent it to us. And we love it. So anyways, yeah, so that's what's been going on with me. Let's see what's going on with all of you. Let's answer some of your questions. And you guys let me know. It sounds like a lot of you said less guesting. You can keep talking about. Thanks, Ukinkoria. I'm getting better. I'm working on it. Okay. I'm Invisible says, Katie, what do you think about antidepressants? To be truthful, I think they can be super, super helpful. Am I saying that right? Ukinkoria? So antidepressants can save your life. I honestly think that they do have a very important place in treatment. They're not for everybody. Not everybody needs them. Not everybody has to be on them all the time. But I do think if we're drowning in the symptoms of our depression or of our anxiety, because they use them interchangeably, it sounds like, that then, you know, even though if we're drowning in them, in the symptoms, and we can't even do anything to help ourselves, the antidepressants can be really, really helpful. Yeah, so those are my thoughts. I think a lot of people are scared to try something, but you don't have to stay on it forever. It's something you can titrate on and titrate off if you don't like it. And that would just be my advice about it, is to talk to your doctor, ask any questions that you have about it, and make sure that, you know, that you feel confident and comfortable taking it. Because the worst that we can do is not ask enough questions, be put on something and think, oh my God, but I feel this way. Is this because of this? And not feel safe and not feel good taking it. And I want to make sure that all of you are comfortable with your treatment plan and feeling good. Thank you guys for all the likes. So as always, before I forget, at 100,000, we do a giveaway. These are our same goals. If you guys are sick of these goals, you let me know. But 100,000, we do a giveaway. 200K, we do a giveaway in karaoke. 500K, we do 2 giveaways and 5 cards. And if we get to 1 million likes, we do 10 giveaways. Thanks, Emily's coming in hot here on this Wednesday morning. Thank you, Charlotte and Sapphic Galaxy. Wow, had trouble saying that. I'm getting my water. As you can tell, I still have like morning wake up voice. Thanks, Charlotte. Woohoo! Do I owe you a karaoke, Antonia? Did I get that last time and we didn't do it? Shit. I think we did. Sean didn't respond, so I don't know. Ukinkoria? I'm going to keep saying it. I hope it's getting better. From last time, I completely forgot.
UK Konankoria.
UK Konankoria? Is that how she says to say it?
I don't know.
Oh.
I was just guessing.
No, she told me. I hung out with her. She's one of my Patreon patrons, and she told me, but now it's all out the window. Okay, so I can karaoke tonight. Don't let me forget, Sean. Oh, yes, remember, we're supposed to either do... Now it's all coming back to me. Leave It on a Jet Plane or...
Leave It on a Jet Plane, that's right.
There was another song, too, but... Okay, guys, don't worry. Sorry, I forgot. I will... No, but it still makes me laugh. I'm not saying it right. It's her dog's name. Damn it. I'm working on it. Oh, hey, Lady Peters. Yeah, it's like the name of something. It's like it's a couple things, I think, pushed together. I forget. Okay. Thanks, Britt Brat, the kitty cat. So anyway, those are our goals. Are you guys happy with the goals that we have? Let me know if you want me to guest a bunch. So far, it sounds like people want me to answer more questions, so I'll do that. But yes. Brittany, yes, I have heard of Educating Shani. Have you guys, I don't know if this is just me, but some people have reached out to me and told me that she's like not helpful and hurtful. Is that possible? Or am I confusing her with someone else? Because I've heard that from people. So yeah, I've heard about Whitney. You're in the right place. You just asked the question exactly where you should. Navana Sparkles. Thank you. You are #1 fan. Just coming in hot. You and Emily. All over it. Ooh, I just bumped the table and I'm sorry. Okay, Awkward Strawberry will be here hopefully when you get back. I know, Whitney, you already figured it out. Okay, Chalaffy, am I saying that right? Says, I got very attached to my school psychologist, but moved to leave an abusive mom. I miss the psychologist a lot, and now we talk on the phone. Ethical? Oh, hey, is that Ava? Woo, woo, woo. Sorry, my leg is caught. I gotta get it out of there. That's why I bumped the table.
I'm trapped.
As long as the conversations are, thanks Emily B, woo, 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 woo. As long as the conversations are like about therapy, if they're similar to like what a session would be, and I say that because it's like, are they still focused on your recovery or your process or helping you and talking things out? If that's the case, it's completely fine. You can do therapy over the phone. I do that when my clients are out of town and they're having a hard time. We still do phone sessions, and that's completely ethical. And it's completely at our discretion as a therapist. Oh yes, Eliana, I do have a video on exposure therapy. You can just Google or YouTube Kati Morton exposure therapy. And so anyways, as far as that stuff goes, they can do phone sessions. There's no reason not to, and it's completely at our discretion whether we even charge people or not. Like, I can see people pro bono if I want. Like, I have clients who, you know, pay like half of what other clients pay, and it just kind of depends. It depends on their need and what I'm able to give. So that's completely fine if they're just wanting to talk to you and keep up with you. Tiju, I don't know, I'm probably saying that wrong. Do you think AA is good for people who problem drink? Yeah, I do think AA can be definitely beneficial. I don't think it's the end all be all. Just like everything, it's going to be different from person to person. I've had a lot of clients who've struggled with the like higher power portion of AA. If you don't know what I'm talking about, AA is Alcoholics Anonymous, and they have you talk to like a higher power being, you know, something or someone greater than yourself. Kukoria. Shit, I'm so bad. At least I'm going to hang out with you again, and then we can talk about that, and I can figure it out. I'll write it down. So I think AA can be really helpful for those of us who have trouble with alcoholism. But, you know, the religious part, that higher power, has been a struggle for some of my clients. And so with that in mind, there are other options out there. Thanks, Jamie. Woo, 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 woo. Coming in hot. 3 times already. 400 likes. Yow! Okay. So I'll work on it. Fuck. I'm just gonna have to. We're just gonna have to come back to that. We're gonna have to come back to it. Thanks, Emily B. Okay. Lemon Guarded says, how do I end intrusive thoughts? They're getting scary. I have a bunch of videos on this, and I would encourage you to watch them. Intrusive thoughts are usually a component of OCD. Not always, but they come along with like anxiety disorders a lot. And the way to, I have some tips and tricks and tools in those videos. So just get on YouTube, look up Kati Morton intrusive thoughts, because there's some thought techniques we can use to get us out of it. And to stop the, you know, the spiraling down of like, oh my God, why did I think that? Oh my God, am I a bad person? How come this is happening? You know, and like the thought cycles. There's a lot of thought stopping techniques we can use. I'm not even prepared. Take your earbuds out. Oh, it's cut. Ooh, Nevada Sparkles is coming in hot today. Woo, 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 woo. Just monkeying around on this Wednesday morning. Woo, 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 woo. And Sean is here. He's all ready with his monkey noises.
Go bananas.
Better, right? Better. Thank you, Nevada Sparkles. Woo, 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 woo. Yoit's Potato sent the little, I like a Buddha girl did too, the little monkey emoji. We've gone bananas. I know it is a cute monkey, isn't it? Sophie. Monkey noises are improving. I'm doing the best I can. Oh yeah, that's what Emilia Ukinkoria, are you from Finland? Oh, I'm not doing very good with it. I'm sorry. I'm not from Finland. I'm doing the best I can. Okay, hold on. Control the scroll. I am trying to read a question, and it jumped all over, and now I lost it. Oh, Sheep is on that. She put in the intrusive thoughts link. I thought you weren't even going to be able to. I'm impressive. I'm impressed. Sorry, I'm reading questions while I try to talk. I'm multitasking. I lost that question. Okay, Riley says, Kati, what should I do if I don't want to take my medication anymore? I feel like they don't work. Thanks, Nevada Sparkles. So if we don't want to take our medication anymore, we have to talk to our doctor first. Withdrawal is a real thing. Changing medications, meaning stopping, starting, any of that, increasing dose, lowering dose, is something that needs to be done, you know, with the guidance of your physician. Preferably the person who put you on the medication, if you can still continue to see them. But seeing someone, let him know all the dosages and what medications you're on. Please talk to them. Thanks, Minimalist Goth. You're so sweet. Hey, Dawson E. There's your shout out. Whoop. Thanks, Carly, for inviting your fans. So, anyways, always talk to your doctor and consult with them and let them know why you don't want to take your medication, but be open to their reasons for wanting to keep you on it. Not that they necessarily will, but if they do, I want you to at least be open to that, because oftentimes when we're feeling better, it's because of the medication. Thanks, Navana Sparkles is all over it today. Woo, 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 woo. And so, anyways, be open to that conversation. See what they have to say, because we want to make sure you're getting the best treatment that you possibly can get. Okay, so Melissa, what kind of topics are you, what are your questions? Like you said, discuss more LGBT plus topics. I will have a video coming out that another Kenyan had asked on a live stream a while ago, and I don't forget, I make lists. And so it'll be about dealing with homophobic parents, and how to keep your mental health in check while all that stuff is going on. So I have a video coming out about that soon. Anyways, so that's kind of that's one of the topics I'll be discussing. Do you have other questions? Okay, Sheepishness says, how to do job interviews. No matter how much I prepare, I always freeze and don't speak enough because of anxiety. I think the preparing that you could do would be role playing with someone, like actually pretending to be interviewed by a person, like a family member or a friend. And obviously you're going to be more comfortable because it's a family member or a friend. But I think that preparing for them isn't the same as like role playing them out. And I find that that is the most helpful. Ooh, was that a moth? Look at it flying around. Oh, ah! I tried to get it, you guys, but I bumped it. But it didn't. I hate moths. Eee! Oh, anyway. So I would role play out sheep, and hopefully that will help alleviate some of that. Okay. Maybe the moth needs advice. It's true, Sophia. It could. Thank you, Emily. Woo, 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 woo. Okay. Lee Beyond the Binary says, I have sports pictures today and I'm a trans guy on a female team. They're supportive, but I'm super anxious and dysphoric. Please help. Talk to yourself through it. Be nice to yourself. Be proud of how far you've come and the fact that they are like welcoming and open. Let's focus on the positive today, because it sounds like the dysphoria is just coming from like our own insecurity. And so let's talk back to that. Give it some positive reinforcement. You're making positive changes for yourself, and you're really doing the things that feel right for you. And those are all wonderful positive things. So let's think of 5 positive things we can say to ourselves before those photos so that you feel better. Sound cool? Let me know if that helps. Thanks, Navana Sparkles. Woo, 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 and Emily. Yay, 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 yay. Okay. Yoit's Potatoes. Yeah, seizures are scary. Neurologists, some of the smartest doctors that exist. I completely agree. I've had a lot of questions. If any of you are out there and you're waiting for me to answer some questions about seizures, I'm trying to find a neurologist that will come on the channel, but it's something that like right now we can't really afford. We will have Alexa coming back on, but you know, neurologists are also very expensive because they are very smart, and I was hoping I could ask a favor of someone. So a lot of the questions that you have about non-epileptic seizures and all of that is something that I would want a neurologist to weigh in on. So know that I didn't forget your question. It's just finding someone who can properly answer it. Okay, Danielle says, Katie, do you have any videos about grief? My mom's been sick almost my whole life and recently transitioned to hospice, and I'm struggling. Yes, Danielle, I have 2 videos on grief, I believe, and even one on like chronic illness. Like you said, your mom's been sick all your life. I have a video about losing someone and feeling like senses of relief, which I know sounds terrible, but often when people are sick for a long time, we don't like seeing them that way, and we feel bad, and it's hard to see them suffer. So yeah, and Sheepishness just put, and Sophie P, they both put the links in the chat, and you can just go onto YouTube also and search Kati Morton grief, and those should come up. Okie dokie. Carly Kent is all over the hearts today. Woo! Yeah, Swifty Michelle, it can take a while. She said that her grandma passed away a month ago and she can't believe it. And it is hard. It's like, I don't know, grief is weird. It takes time. Sometimes we feel good, some other times we feel bad. Thanks, Swifty Michelle, for the likes. Woo! Let's see. Thanks, Navana Sparkles. It's coming in hot today. Okay, let's see. Becca says, in PA, I'm assuming that means Pennsylvania, clients cannot see or communicate with their therapist for 5 years after they close out. Is it the same in California? I don't think ours is 5 years, and this is like you're testing my licensing exam, in, like the information we had to learn for. I think ours is 3. If someone wants to fact check me, let me know. Let's see if my brain is still kicking. But it's not that we can't have contact with a client. We can't date a client after we see them. I don't know why anybody would ever do that. I would never that was just not something that ever sounds like a good idea to me, because the relationship's all sorts of weird already, because it's already a therapeutic relationship, and try and turn that romantic. I don't believe that can ever work. You can be upset about that, but that's just those are my thoughts. Thanks, Emily B. And so we can see them and talk to them, I guess, if we wanted. But it's just a weird dynamic. It's a very strange dynamic. And there are laws around all sorts of stuff like that. And it's mainly it's to protect the client. So those of us in therapy, it's to protect us. And so I believe you could, Marie, be friends after you're not seeing each other as like client therapist anymore. But again, I do think that the relationship is very odd and the dynamic could be very strange. Oh, okay. Bye, Taylor. I will be gone for 2 weeks as well, you guys. I don't know when I'll be doing a live stream. So we leave on Monday evening to go to Australia. And I don't know when I'll be doing live streams. Follow me on Twitter, as you know that, like, turn on your notifications for me. Oh, Artsy Pow, we got a new subscriber. Welcome to the family. Woo, 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 woo. I will let you know through Twitter if I'm doing a live stream, so just make sure you have notifications turned on for me, and then make sure you're following me and stuff like that, and I'll let you know. But it depends on time, because think of it, I'll be on Australia time, and it's not just Australia time because it's a huge continent. I'll be in Melbourne, so that puts us like 18 and a half hours ahead of where I am now. That math is freaking me out. So I'll be there, and I have to make sure that I have a good enough service to actually do a live stream. Yeah, I agree, Sadie girl. She says not to be mean, but I don't think I'd want to be friends with my therapist. I like her, but that would be weird. And I agree, like, I've been seeing Jana off and on for years, and I like her. She's cool, but not like, I mean, I can't be friends with her. She knows too much stuff. It's just weird. And I don't know anything about her. So, other than the fact she's from Toronto. Because she threw in a sorry once, and I was like, oh, you're Canadian. But yeah, I don't really want to know anything about. Is that weird? I just feel like that's my normal experience. Even Rebecca, my first therapist before that, and Susie, my one before that, I love them all, but not like, I don't want to be friends with them. They're just great therapists. That's about it. Okay. Oh, bye, Amelia. Sleep tight. I hope you have a good day at school tomorrow. Michaela says, what's the best way to plan to move out? I'm 15 and I want to plan early so I can move out when I'm 18. Start saving that money, girl. I think when we plan to move out, the biggest deterrent, the biggest struggle for people who want to leave home or have emotionally abusive parents and don't know what to do, it's financial. So I would encourage you to get a job that doesn't affect your school and your ability to, like, I worked on the weekends in high school. Thanks, Nevada Sparkles. Woo, 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 woo. And so I think that, you know, planning, like seeing what rent is in your area, seeing if you have a friend that would want to move out when you want to move out too, getting that job on the weekends and pinching those pennies, man, saving it and saving it. So yeah, that's what I would do. That would be my advice for that. Okay, let's see. What happened, Carly? Now everybody's talking about it and I didn't read it. Oh, my old bad therapist literally cried on my shoulder once and caused problems with my other friends. It's weird. That's really weird. Thanks, Jamie Lynn. Woo, or Jalen. Jalen, a.k.a. Jamie, a.k.a. Woo, 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 woo. Thanks, Dawson. That's really weird. Why would they cry? I'll refer back to previous statements I've made. Some people just suck at their jobs, and therapists are no different. I'm not going to try to say that again, but I think I've got the ending right. The chorea. Correct? Maybe? Question mark? Ooh. But we'll see each other soon. You can correct me. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Ronnie, you like that? It's funny. Okay. Tara says, my therapist was asking me about my anxiety and was telling me all my thoughts were illogical and making me feel really stupid. What should I do? First of all of our, like, talk to your therapist about it. And I know that's really uncomfortable, and I know you don't want to. The name I keep mispronouncing, Ukinkoria. She's like, thanks anyways, Katie, you still make me laugh. I know, she gets a kick out of me trying to pronounce it. So, you know, I'm not very good. We know this. I don't pretend. But if your therapist ever makes you, or ever says things that cause you to feel invalidated or feel like they're not listening or feel like they don't care, the first thing I would always encourage you to do is talk about it, because at the very least, what I want you to get out of that shitty therapeutic situation, because it's not really therapeutic, the bad therapist potentially, is I want you to learn how to communicate what's upsetting. And so I think it's good practice for us when something like that happens to come back into session and to say it. Talk to them about it. Let them know that it's upsetting and that you're frustrated and you're hurt or whatever, because it's really important that we learn how to verbalize and express what we're going through. And so I would use that as practice. Do it. You got this. And then after that, let them know what you need. So it was really upsetting when you acted like my anxiety issues and struggles were all, I forget what you said, like irrational or something. So they're irrational. I found that really invalidating. It was really upsetting to me. And wait for them to respond. And if you can repair the relationship and move forward, then cool. But if you can't, thanks, Nirvana, sparkles, woo, woo, woo. So yeah, bring it up, talk to them, give them the opportunity to right the wrong. But if you just can't move past it, then you always get another referral or find somebody else. But at least try to communicate that, because it's good practice, okay? That's my advice. Okay, yes, Jessica's asking, do I have videos about how to learn to build boundaries? I have so many. Get on YouTube and search Kati Morton boundaries, and I have ways to, the newest one I think is setting and managing boundaries. It's like a red thumbnail. I think that's probably the newest, but there's tons of them, so check those out. Should be helpful. What are boundaries? Sophie B's coming out. I knew it. I knew it. You guys. Oh, hey, Panna. Panna says, my boyfriend runs away from boundaries. Sophie tweeted to me the other day because she's working on the anxiety workbook, and she's like, and you mentioned boundaries. And I was like, and she put the little gif of it's like a sea creature. It's like, nope, 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 nope. And he backs away out of the situation. I think is it a octopus? I don't know. Anyway. Panna says, my boyfriend of 17 years suddenly changed passwords on his phone after I caught him hooking up for drinks with a girl. Now he won't unlock his phone, and I can't try. Panna, okay. Have you guys been listening to Oprah's podcast, Soulful Conversation, I think it's called? There's one she did with, trust. Oh, it can't trust. Okay. So this was, I'm just going to say this because I just heard this and it was so powerful to me in a lot of ways. I feel like we can all learn from, first of all, that podcast is fucking amazing. And I listened to the first one with Brené Brown. And that's the only one I've had time to listen to. Oh, Dave S., my workbooks are all on iBooks. And as long as you have
Just go to iTunes and search
it. As long as you have iTunes on whatever device you use, you can download it. Thanks, Sophie. I'm glad you like the anxiety workbook. I put probably the most work I've ever put into something into that. So, anyway, so she has this podcast, the Soulful Conversations, and the one with Brené Brown. She was talking about working, because Brené Brown is also a social worker, and I forget if it was her or Oprah was sharing like something that one of their friends had gone through in therapy and how helpful this advice was from their therapist. And the way that it unraveled was the therapist said to the client when she was like, I don't know if I can trust my husband anymore since he cheated. Let's just say because kind of what's happened. You're feeling like, Panna, like he's not trustworthy, right? And you're thinking that he was cheating. And so the question isn't, can I trust them? It is instead, can I trust myself enough to know that if this happens again, I can walk away and I'll be okay? It's more trust in yourself and your own ability to cope and to come out of it. And I know that sounds like super simple, but that was really powerful to me, because I think in life there's a lot of things that we can have happen where we think, well, I just can't trust that. And I can't trust that person. I can't trust that situation. But it's more, can I trust myself to do what's best for me and to get out when I need to and trust that I'll be okay? And those are big questions. Those are things that you're going to have to spend time thinking about, because that's the struggle always for me, is like, am I going to be okay, right? Can I come back from this? Is it okay? You've been with this guy for 17 years, so will I be okay if he's not around? What if this happens again? Can I walk away? And the answer is probably, I don't know right now. But I would give yourself some time to think about it, because that was just such a powerful thing for me. Those podcasts, you guys, it left my brain spinning for like hours. Sean, I kept mentioning stuff to Sean. He's like, he made this joke, like things that make your brain go, like it hums along. I know, right, Karen? It's just good. It's just good stuff. So think about that, Panna. And I know it's not a good, like, I'm not giving you an answer, but I'm just giving you a way to find out what's best for you. Okay. So thanks, Amanda. Yeah, Brené Brown is amazing. I really, oh, Aiden, I haven't seen the question. I don't see your question. If you want to ask it again, I'll try to find it quickly. So anyway, I hope that kind of helps a little bit. And I hope that helps a lot of you who are struggling to make a certain decision. Yeah, of course, Panna, of course. Yeah, it's Brené Brown's it's just her first one. She's on there twice. So anyway, all of those podcasts, man, make sure that you, oh, BPD in relationship. Okay, Morgan, I'll look for it. Okay, here's Aiden's question. But anyways, just whenever you listen to those podcasts, like I do when I go on my walks, I usually try to go on a walk in the afternoon. Make sure you can really focus because there's a lot. Like part of me even want to take notes because that's just how I am. But man, there was so much in that. I was talking to Sean about it like crazy. Okay. Aiden B says, hey, Katie, I have my first CAMPS appointment on Friday. CAMPS is it's like the mental health system in the UK. Oh, control the scroll. Control the scroll. Okay. I'm worried that they'll tell my parents or hospitalize me or something. What do I do? Ask them. Before you say anything in your appointment, I would ask them what they share and why. And, yeah, because oh, bummer, Jamie. That's such a bummer. But I'll get to that in a second. Sorry, Aiden. Always ask what confidentiality restraints there are. Like, what are they going to share? What are they not going to share? Because it's really important. Oh, Elfie W, welcome to the family. We got a new subscriber. Woo, 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 woo. Yes, Aiden, Child and Adolescent Mental Health Service. So, ask them what they're going to share and not share. And if there's a reason that you don't want your parents to know something, tell them. Like if they're emotionally abusive or you think it'll make things at home really hard for you, you need to talk to them and understand what they're going to share and what they're not going to share. And if you have any say in that, because that's the only way we know. I've talked to so many people about this, and I find that the only thing that really that I can say for sure is that it differs from therapist to therapist because there aren't any laws about this. There are laws of confidentiality once we're adults, but when we're children, it's at the therapist's discretion to share what they want to share. Okay, and Emily B says CAMs are like most countries. Unless you express something that makes you a danger to yourself, then they won't share anything. And that's good to know. Thanks, Emily, because when it comes to like how I work with my clients is if I keep their parents up to date on like, what's the homework we're working on this week? Like, oh, I want them to go for walks and I want them to do these things, you know. Oh, thanks, Panna. Woo, even has a pretty little red crown. We're so fancy. Hold this pain. The posters over here. The Process Not Perfection, Healthy Mind, Healthy Body can be found at dftba.com/Kati Morton. I have those are the two things in my shop right now on DFTBA, and you can find them. And I will have something new coming soon. I'm still working on the joggers. Okay, let me wrap up things. I have a lot of things going on. So anyways, I would just ask them. I'd make sure you know what they're going to share, Aiden, so that you feel free to tell them what you need to tell them. Thanks, Panna, for the likes. Woo, 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 woo. And Jamie, I'm sorry that it's not going to work out. Why do they think that the lawsuit's not going to pan out? That's really frustrating. Okay, AMR player says, Katie, answer please. What should I do if I have a toxic family and I can't get enough money to leave? Please, I'm exhausted. Thanks for the help. I have a bunch of videos about dealing with toxic family. And if you feel that anything is abusive to you, oh, thanks Sheepishness for putting the link. Sheepishness put the link so you can get the posters in the chat. You're going to have to talk to someone. AMR player, if your family is hurting you in any way or is abusive in any way, make sure that you let someone know, because that's the only way we can get you out if you don't have the financial ability or someone else in your family you can go stay with. But I have a video I did with Emma Wicks a while ago. Thanks, Sheepishness, and thanks, Sophie. They put the links to videos that could be helpful, hopefully, for you in there. Oh, that's a bummer, Jamie. That's terrible. Why would that have any... Ugh, I'm sorry. That's really a bummer. Anyways, so I would talk to somebody and find out what you can do, because it's really hard. You know, it's really hard to get out if we don't have somewhere else we can go. And depending on your situation and how toxic your family is, and I know this sounds terrible, but sometimes the foster care system isn't any better. I've had clients express to me how terrible it is, and so I just want to make sure that we do what's best for you and you know all your options. But talk to somebody, reach out, talk to a school counselor, talk to somebody so you can get some support and figure out what your options are. Oh yay, Inside Kim's World. I'm so glad that you went to your first psych appointment and you've been binge watching my videos and they've helped. Yay, yay, yay. That's what I love to hear. Thanks, Ileana. Okay. Yeah, and that's AMR player. I've had a lot of clients as adults tell me that they lived with a friend even. Even if you've read Hannah's Buffering book, I don't know if you've read Hannah's memoir, Buffering. She, because her mother was schizophrenic, lived with one of her friends through high school. Like, she lived with her for a few years because things were so hard at home and her mom couldn't mentally be a fit parent. Her mom wasn't a fit parent. She lived with one of her friends for a while. So those are things you can do too. Okay, let's see. I know, great book, right? Katie binge is always a good idea. Thanks, Karen. Okay, you guys, okay, so these are some things I want to talk about too before I forget. So with regard to the joggers, so if you guys don't know, I've been wanting to create like pajama pants / joggers with little creatures on them that are super cute that I already have had designed. And so anyways, looking at how much they would cost, joggers are expensive. And I don't know, they'd be almost like in total between $45 and $50 for a set of joggers with the print on them. I think that might be too much to try to make, that's a lot for people to pay. So I don't know how you guys feel about that. So yeah, see, it's expensive. And I just haven't said yes because I just think that's too much. And I'm trying to think of other cheaper ways. Yeah, it's a lot cheap, right? So I'll see. Yeah, they do have leggings and stuff. I just don't know if everybody likes leggings. Oh, Michaela, I'd probably do black or dark gray just because those are the kind of colors that I would wear. I don't really like light colors on my bottoms, and I like them to be simple, so they go with everything. But yeah, so those are the things. Maybe we can get socks or something. We could do socks. We could definitely do socks. So anyway, I wanted to let you know I've been looking into it, and I've been trying to find a way, to make it work. So don't think that I like put it out there and am not doing it because I'm already planning on things. And I'll look into sweatpants too. It's just because the joggers are like a lot of material and they're harder for them to screen print on. And I just keep hearing all these things. So I just wanted to let you know I'm still looking at it. I know hats. Maybe I'll talk to Carly and see if we can get more of those empathic badass hats. Maybe. But socks and sweatpants, those are good ideas. And leggings, everybody likes leggings. So, okay. Those are some good ideas. We will look into it, and sweatpants and stuff like that. Because I have seen leggings a lot. I just haven't seen joggers everywhere, so it's been hard to pick them out. But I will look, and yeah, let's know that I'm still trying to figure it out. Ooh, everybody wants socks. Maybe we do socks, honey.
Socks would be better, because then you can go, there's things to do.
Yeah, and it makes them more reasonable, because I don't know. I just have a tough time, Carly. Oh, we'll talk. We'll talk about creating more hats, maybe. But anyways, ooh, journals. Yes, it's already cold in New York. Wow, you guys, that's crazy. Footwear. I'd wear some process, not perfection kicks. That's awesome, Becca. I'll look. Ooh, and Carly has more ideas of hats. Oh, also, as a side note, many of you have sent me art over the years that you can see behind me and like up in the corners. And I have a whole bin full of ones that I was thinking of putting up in my house. And I think I might put a calendar together with your guys' art and quotes from moi. What would you think about that? I see your message, Selland. And so anyways, I think that, hi, Pizza Pocket. I love that name. Thanks.
It's a pizza pocket.
Thank you, Coria. I'm just going to say Coria. So if you guys want to be in the calendar, just send me some art with your name on it. And then I will either email you or reach out to you via Twitter or something, because I just need you to say it's okay for me to use it in the calendar. And I can put your handle on your, or whatever you want, like how people can find you if they like your, oh, really? Really, Minimalist Goth? Email me. Email me at info@katiemorton.com and we can try to figure something out. But the calendar, I think could be really fun. And I'll always have to, you just say that it's okay for me to use your art so that, you know, they know it's okay that we're printing other people's stuff that's not mine, because then that could be illegal. I could get in big trouble. Thanks, Emily. Woo, woo, woo. Emily, I think it can be sent through email. It doesn't have to be physical. You could actually email me your art. And then in the email, just say it's okay for me to use it in the calendar. And then, yeah, we can get those out before the new year. I thought that would be really cute. And it'd be kind of a cool way for us all to work together. Okay, everybody should hydrate. I know, right, Lauren? Sadie girl, she got it. I want candy. Do, 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 do. Yeah, journals, we could do that too. And that's something I am looking at. Certain things are just harder to find. Like, I really like certain qualities of stuff. Oh, Ileana, you gotta go. I'm glad that you were able to come hang out. Oh yeah, water bottles. Okay, I'll take, Sean's gonna take some notes on the items that you've mentioned. Socks, leggings, journals, the calendar stuff. Oh, you're on vacation in Mexico. Have fun, have fun. Water bottles. And Carly's got some ideas.
Hockey jerseys.
Hockey jerseys. So anyways, so those will be some of the things that we'll be working on. But I just wanted to check with you and see. Yes, I love moleskin too, Amy. And that's the thing, is moleskin's super expensive. Even if you buy them in bulk, they're still like crazy expensive. So I'm trying to find a way to make things reasonable, because I know personally I don't really like to spend over like 25 bucks on something like a VidCon shirt, or you know what I mean? So I'd like to keep it around that. Oh yeah, dog leashes. And maybe some dog leashes and cat collars, because cats don't wear they don't do the leash thing. Some of them do. Thanks, Katie Lane. Woo, 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 woo. Okay. Let's see. Sean, you remembered something that Carly's flattered about.
Hockey jersey.
She loves hockey.
That's what we're talking about.
Oh, I see.
Yes,
I see.
Yes.
Oh, Panda's cat goes out on a leash, you guys. We have this cat in our neighborhood that they walk on like a harness, and it's amazing. And I love it so much. Oh, thanks, Emily. Woo, 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 woo. Okay, Artsy Pal, I have a video about quiet borderline if you want to know more, or if you have a specific question, you can let me know. Oh, Nini works at a pet store. She'll hook us up. Thanks, Nini. Okay, let me see. Jamie, my cat would freak. I know, right? My cat would like roll. I've actually, when I was a kid, I tried to put Molly, who's still alive. She's like, 12 years old and still trucking. Anyway, I put the leash on her and the collar, and she just rolled around in it. She's like, I don't know what you're trying to do, but I'm a cat. I do what I want. Okay, Becca says, why does paranoia happen? Interestingly enough, we actually know that paranoia occurs, well, not as a whole. Like, I can tell you why hallucinations and delusions, which sometimes are part of paranoia, they can occur because we have excess dopamine in our brain, which is really a feel-good, our feel-good hormone and our feel-good neurotransmitters, and all of that is like, we have extra stuff sitting in there, and that's why we see things that other people don't see, we hear things other people don't hear. Bye, Ileana. Enjoy the rest of your vacation. Thanks, Sophie. Joe is here. Woo, 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 woo. And so anyways, that's why we have those. That's what's happening in our brain. When it comes to paranoia, I honestly, I don't think it happens because of that. I don't know if we actually, from my knowledge, there isn't anything happening in our brain to tell us why people have paranoia. I believe that paranoia usually comes out of something else getting more intense, like in mental illness being left untreated. Like I talked about my psychotic depression video and how that can happen. Sorry, I'm going to get more clear. A lot of my clients, when they're really having a hard time, that's when the paranoia kicks in. And I think it's when we let intrusive thoughts or any kind of rumination, like thoughts that are running, like depressive thoughts or anxious thoughts, when we don't get help for them, we let them go and go and go. I honestly think that that's where paranoia comes from. And so the sooner we get help, the better. Is that clear? Sorry, I could have tangentially wound my way around. Sorry, there's a lot to think about when it comes to that. Was that Tara that gave the bars? Thank you, thank you. Woo, 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 woo. Ooh, Mergen's got a joke. What does a nosy pepper do? What's a nosy pepper do, you guys? It gets jalapeno business. Ooh, that's a good one. I love it. I love it. Okay, that's a good one. Thanks, Navana Sparkles. So, and that's something I could look into more, you guys. I could read more about why paranoia happens if we do know any more about what's going on in the brain. Just from my reading, from different videos I've created for you and stuff, I haven't found anything to show what it is that's happening. Nini asks, why is the mental health community, or why do they disagree about the validity of quiet borderline? I think a lot of the struggles within the mental health community are the fact that it's technically, like, there's a certain, and I'm going to be totally judgy right now, okay? There's a certain age of people who are at the point in their career where they're in a position to make decisions about our DSM and the way that we document things and the way things are covered by insurance. There are people at a certain age who've been in the field for a certain amount of time, and I find that people in that capacity struggle to take in new information and think that it's valid. I hear a lot of pushback from some of my older colleagues where they talk about the fact that, well, with the rise of social media, everybody's making up a new type of disorder that they have, and there's no need to add more disorders. Oh, thanks, Sophie Joe. I hope you are too. And anyways, so they struggle with that, and everybody's got a different type of disorder. Everybody needs to be a special snowflake. I hear that a lot. And I think that that's where that comes out of. And so I honestly think that we don't necessarily need more diagnoses, but we do need different types. Meaning, like, borderline personality disorder can be BPD, and then under it can be like there's a what's it called? Why can't I think of the word? Like a subtype, I guess would be the best way I could describe it. Like a subtype of borderline personality disorder is quiet BPD. Or under PTSD, there's complex PTSD and how that differs and how it expresses itself. Anyway, so that's kind of where, that's why I think that there's a lot of argument. Because then those of us who work with a lot of BPD patients, for instance, with regard to the quiet borderline, woo, Silly Redhead is a new subscriber. Welcome to the family. Woo, woo, woo. But those of us who work with BPD people a lot then see that it's so very different and treated so very differently that we feel it needs to have its own diagnosis. Like the same reason I think that self-injury is not only part of BPD, it happens on its own without that diagnosis, and they just will not, like, it's given, it's one of the things that they're contemplating right now, but it wasn't added to the DSM that just came out. Was that 2 years ago already? Thanks, Jamie. Woo, woo, woo. Anyways, those are my thoughts. I hope that kind of helps make sense. It's rough. It's rough out there. Thanks, Jamie. Oh, bye, Emily B. Gotta go to work. I hope you have a good day. I have a question. How does do boundaries? How do you do boundaries? I have videos about that, Sophie. I'm sure and it's in the anxiety workbook. Aaron P. says, do you have any tips for building confidence about your body image and dealing with compliments? I think there's a couple of things, because it's a total work in progress. It's not something that we can just snap, feel better. I think that it takes time for our mind to catch up with our body. So if we're making healthy choices and we're feeling like our body's more fit and we're just better feeling overall in our physical body, our mind can still think that we're the unhealthy or gaining weight or whatever, losing weight, whatever it is that was happening before. Our brain can still feel like we're the same. Thanks, Silly Redhead. Woo, woo, woo. Oh, and Amy Jacqueline says there's a great book, 365 Days of Self-Confidence. And so anyways, so it takes time. And the way that we try to catch them up is when people give compliments, don't argue back, just say, oh, thanks. And that's it, right? But take note of that compliment. I want you to keep notes in your phone. I want you to write them down in there. And then I want you later to go home and I want you to say them to yourself. And I want you to, and you know how we usually argue back against that negative voice? I want you to agree with the compliment, and I want you to tell me more about it. So if somebody gives you a compliment, it's like, wow, you look so great. I haven't seen you. Oh my God, look at you. Okay, so we go home, we reread that compliment, and then we tell ourselves, you know, I have been working hard and I am actually feeling better. Maybe it's showing. That's all we have to do. So I want you to build on those compliments, because it's going to take time for that to catch up. And know that you're just going to have to keep trying to do it and keep trying to do it. And then hopefully you know, you'll start to feel better. Because the one thing that will that will slow this process down and continue to have us struggle with this is if we argue against those compliments in our head. So pay attention to your self-talk and tell yourself nice, wonderful, beautiful things. Thanks, Eucoria. Thank you for the likes. Woo, woo, woo. I just can't say it right. I'm so sorry. Okay. What's happening, Jamie? She's saying strange stuff is going on. Okay, Bridget Arndt says, is quiet borderline harder to treat? I feel hopeless that I'll recover. No, it's not harder to treat. It's different in certain symptoms that we're going to focus on if we're doing like DBT, which I still think is the best thing. But a lot of the quiet borderline focuses less on like your relationships with others being like tumultuous. There's less to do with them. Why am I blanking on the word? I was just writing about it the other day. But, you guys, I've got to look it up. It's going to drive me crazy. It's in my talk even. I just talked about it. Emotion regulation. Jeez. It's less to do with emotion regulation for like energy out and more inside. So it's still very similar. And I definitely think you can recover. I definitely know that it can get better. I know that things can improve and you can overcome it. It's just working with someone who fully understands what you're going through and knows what parts of DBT are going to be most helpful to you. Because we don't always need, thanks Katie Lane, we don't always need a ton, like not everyone's the same. Some people are going to be quiet borderline, some are regular borderline, and those are going to be different ways. There's going to be different treatments within DBT that we utilize most. Does that make sense? Okay, I'll say UK. She's like, thanks. You can just say UK if you want. Okay, I'll say UK for now. Okay. Sheepishness says, can you tell YouTube peeps that you can't see them? They need to join the YouNow party for you to answer. Oh, are people on YouTube thinking, yeah, I can't see you guys on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, come over to YouNow. And that's where the chat is working right now. And that's where I'm pulling my questions from. So if you're over and watching on YouTube, come over to younow.com/Kati Morton and you can join in our conversation. Thanks Sheep for letting me know. Oh wow, there's like 100 viewers. Hopefully, and you can download the YouNow app if you're on a mobile device and you don't know how to get just over to YouNow. There's a mobile device, or there's an app that you can use on your mobile device to watch. Okie dokie. Oh, Lotus Petal says, what are your thoughts about hugging your therapist at your last appointment? I think that it's so normal. I've talked about this a lot. I think in Patreon videos, though. I don't think I've had like an actual video go out on the channel, but it's completely fine to hug your therapist. It obviously depends on what the situation is and if your therapist is okay with it. You can always just ask them like, hey, are hugs okay? Is that something that, you're fine doing? And I guarantee they're probably going to say, yeah, that's fine. But I think that, especially the last session, hugging them is completely fine and normal. It's just having a conversation about it. Because the only reason that I would ever, and I've never had to, but the only reason I would ever say no to a client wanting to hug me is if we were in the midst of dealing with attachment issues, and part of that was them not knowing how to self-soothe and them expecting and wanting me to do that for them. And so part of that would be like, I want you to sit down, take a breath, use some of those tools. You know how to help yourself, because therapy, like I got some pushback on the last video about need and neediness when people are like, I just feel really hopeless. Like you told us it's all up to us. But no offense if you were one of those people that's offended, but that's life. Like you're the one that's going to have to get better for you. As a therapist, I can't fix that for you. I really can't. And I know that that's sometimes hard to hear, but you working in therapy to talk through something is super, super helpful. And then what we need to do is we have to try those things on our own, because we don't live and work and we're not around our therapist all the time, right? So like you have to do what's best. You have to make the changes that are best for you, and I can't do that for you. And I can't fill that void from your mom or sister, brother, father, whoever, not giving you enough love and support. Those are things we can work through so that you heal that wound versus trying to stuff other people into it. And I know people feel hurt about that, but it's not for lack of care or love. It's because I care so much and I know that it's up to you. Otherwise, we're just going to keep going around in this cycle. And that's just, it's like perpetuating the illness versus actually healing it. It'd be like me having a deep skin wound and just putting a Band-Aid over it and being like, oh, it'll get better. And it just gets worse and worse. And then I get a blood infection. I have to go to the doctor. Like, you have to get to the root of it and clean it out and heal it before it'll go away. And so I just want you guys to kind of understand that it wasn't out of like, you're on your own, because you're not. I was saying work with your therapist and find a healthy way to heal that wound before trying to shove other people into that hole that, you know, emotionally absent parents or abusive parents can leave. And so I know it is the worst. Having to help yourself is the worst. But the way that we do that is first through finding a good therapist and talking through all the pain and having that safe space to feel angry, frustrated, lonely, sad, all the things and come out of it. Thanks, silly redhead. Woo, woo, woo. I think taking that time to feel that and know that it's okay, you have a safe place to do it, that's where we start. And we're going to have to understand that that's why we have the urge to feel it, because it hurts and it's a bummer and it, like, we needed something that wasn't given to us. That's why we're doing what we're doing. It's completely normal, but we have to heal that so that we don't keep doing that. I hope that makes sense. I hope that that's kind of clear. But so I know that, yeah, like Emily says, my cousin says it's like trying to walk on a broken leg. You have to fix the wound first, unfortunately. And that's the truth. You can't. It hurts too much, right? And so I think that something that we just have to keep in mind is that it really, we always do the hard work ourselves. Therapists just guide us. I can't do it for you. Thanks, Smashing Pumpkin. Woo, woo, woo. Okay. Tan Dance says, I had to stop seeing my therapist because I moved house. I'm scared to start over with someone new and it takes me a long time to click. What do I do? You just got to take that first step. It's always hard transitioning. I would give your therapists permission to talk to one another so you don't have to retell your whole story. That's the best way to speed it along. And then just letting your new therapist know. I know it sucks. Trust me, my therapist, when my dad passed away, was in the midst of retiring. Like, she was retired. And she still did, like, I think 2 phone sessions with me because, you know, I had nobody else yet. But it sucks, but it does get better and you do connect with someone else and it's okay. And it just takes, it's just that transition time that's really hard. Thanks, Erin, for inviting your fans. Okay, Minimalist Goss says, I have a million questions about organizing life. You're the most organized person I know. I believe that organization is helpful for depression. Sadie girl, I wish mine could do it for me. I know, right? Oh, that's awesome, Silly Reddit. Says she wants pursue her passion, become a counselor. I do think organization helps a lot with a lot of different things. It's really helpful for a lot of my clients, especially when it just comes to like self-care and taking time for yourself and planning, all of that. I think all of that's really important. And it helps me, honestly. It just helps me like manage my own like stress level. Like being organized keeps me on point and keeps my stress down. And so I think part of it is just finding what works for you. Because organization is different for everybody. Like, first of all, Sean cannot organize to save his life, but he's getting better and he's learning, but he has a very different way of keeping things organized. And so I think, okay, bye, Danny. Have a good doctor's appointment. I think finding ways to slowly organize little areas, or find out, for me, it's like finding what's most stressful and then working on that area. Like, that's why I clean my desk so often, because it gets overwhelming and I feel like I can't, if it's cluttered, I can't think straight. So yeah, and then I keep like a old school planner where I write everything down. Okay, Jamie asks, what's the best way to tell your parents their chances of living a better life are not going to work out? I think, honestly, Jamie, that it's finding a good time to just talk, because you're just learning as you go. And so telling them what you found, just say, oh, I did hear back from the lawyers today, but I would do it in a space that where you're not like going anywhere, where you have to engage with other people, you don't have any big plans. You can, of course, minimalist goth. I know that's not super helpful, but that's how I would start. Start with the thing that's the most stressful. And so, anyways, I would probably just sit down with them in a space when you don't have to go out. Like, let's say it's right after dinner. You can say that you heard back, and then tell them what you found out and say, so we're just gonna have to wait, but that's kind of all that we really know, because you don't really know, but it just sounds like it's not gonna work out. And so that, just tell them, because you're all in it together, right? None of you knew what the laws were, if it was gonna work out, so I would just talk to them about it. Okay, JToom86 says, why do most therapists and social workers come across who are spiritual? Most of them say that they are crazy. Why is that? I don't know if I fully understand. I don't understand your question, J-Toom. Is it that we as therapists and social workers are spiritual, or that we judge those that are spiritual and say they're crazy? I'm not sure. Let me know what your questions are. Okay, so of course, Jamie, of course. Oh yes, Pinterest does have lots of tips to organize Sadie Girl. Pinterest is also just like a dark hole. Like, I just stay in there forever, looking at stuff and pinning things. Thanks, Jamie, for the likes. Woo, 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 woo. Karen says, Katie, I need to talk to my therapist about self-behavior that's incredibly shameful to me. How do I do that without chickening out? I think starting small, unless it's just something you got to just say. Lauren got stuck on Pinterest today, right? I think starting small, even just saying in your next session, Karen, to like warm yourself up to it, be like, there's something that's really shameful for me and I'm not sure how to go about telling you. Leaving it at that for that point in time and seeing how that feels. And then at the next time you could say, I would like to talk a little bit about this shameful thing. And you could say how it came up or why you think you need to talk about it. You can kind of talk around it until you feel safe enough to get into it. Or you can write it down and bring it in. But I think something that might be helpful, Karen, it's also going to be hard, but it's a good place to start, is when you're at home by yourself and no one's going to hear you, you practice saying it out loud. Because I find that in our head, it's so much scarier and it's so much harder. And we keep building it into this bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Oop, I hit the lamp. Bigger and bigger thing. And so I think that, you know, the sooner we say it out loud to ourselves, the sooner we come to terms with it, the less shame-filled it is. And as a follow-up, so when I was listening to that Oprah and Brené Brown podcast, Brené Brown said something that was also really powerful to me. Sorry, it's because I'm talking a lot now. I'm yawning. Made my eyes water. Okay. She also said, there's no courage without vulnerability. And so it made me think about, like, in order to be courageous to do something, we have to first be vulnerable. We're putting ourselves in a vulnerable position. That's what courage is. I'm sorry, Erin. I made her yawn. And so I think that something that we have to remember is, in order to be courageous, in order to move through the fire that is like working through our shit and is life, we have to be vulnerable. And it's really scary because that, you know, means we could get hurt and nobody wants to get hurt. And so I think, just recognizing that and taking your time and practicing, Karen, will hopefully help you. Okay, I know, I'm sorry about the yawn, you guys. I'm so sorry. Okay. UK asks, how much is ethical to ask your therapist about themselves? Mine shared some bad news about herself, and I don't know if it's okay to check back up. It's completely okay, especially since she shared it herself, like, of free will. That's perfectly fine. I think it's perfectly fine to say that and to see how things are going because they brought it up. But if the only reason it wouldn't be okay is if you just decide to ask them, like, oh, do you have any kids? Are you married? Like, all sorts of questions like that. That's when it, you know, it doesn't always, it's not good. And sometimes they'll say, oh, of course, Karen, I hope that helps. I know it's hard, but stick with it. It gets better. But I think it's only not okay for you to ask out of the blue. But since they brought it up, go right ahead. Okay, Linda Scabine says, I'm recovering. Oh, thanks, Panna. Woo, 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 woo. I'm recovering from anxiety and depression, but depression keeps coming back and messing up my relationships because I don't care about them when I'm depressed. Tips? See somebody. Talk to a therapist. If your symptoms are so bad that you're isolating and it's ruining your relationships, then we need to find other things to do. I would let your therapist know that this is happening, this is recurring. If you're not on medication, it's something you might want to consider and talk to a doctor and see what their thoughts are about it. And, you know, consider your own thoughts about it. I would definitely take more action, do things to help yourself more, because it sounds like in a way we're still drowning in the symptoms. Oh, can we get to 100 invites and shares? It's possible, Carly. It's possible. Okay. We weren't going to guess today. Everybody said they wanted to answer more questions. Somebody just asked if we were going to guess. Unless you guys changed your mind. We have almost an hour left, so we can definitely try to guess. People just said they wanted to answer more questions today instead. Okay, let's see. Avery says, I'm struggling hard with my eating disorder and I don't want recovery, but I've already been in therapy for 4 years. If you're struggling and you don't want, like you're not there yet, it's okay to take a break. I mean, with eating disorders, it's really tricky because physical health can come first. Like we're going to have to go to the hospital, even though we don't want recovery, we're going to have to go to the hospital. Thanks, New Jose, California? I'm not sure. Thank you for the likes. Woo, 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 woo. Everybody's inviting their fans. Okay, so I think that, seeing a therapist for that amount of time, you have to be honest with them. Be honest about where you're at because we really can't recover if we don't at least... It's not that we have to want recovery, you guys. I want you to hear this. It's not that we have to want recovery. It's that we have to hate where we're at. And I know hate's a strong word, but I truly believe that that's what has to happen. Because everybody I've worked with, no one ever really wants recovery because their eating disorder or their self-injury or even their depression or anxiety can be such a crutch. It can be something that we use because it's a coping skill, right? And so we're scared. It's like we white knuckle, like hold on to this thing because we're like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do if I don't have it. So we don't have to want it, but we have to hate where we're at because that's what motivates us to get help and motivates us to move forward. Don't worry about the want. The want, honestly, I don't believe comes until we are there and then we know that we want to stay there. Do you guys agree with that? I mean, that's kind of my feelings because I truly believe that, thanks, Tommy Reader. I think that that's kind of where that's at because you can't, it's hard to want when you don't know, when everything's so unknown and scary, right? Lauren E says, oh my God, that makes so much sense. How do I hate where I'm at? I think it's just not liking what's going on. Like most of my clients, when they decide they want help is because things have become unmanageable. Like they are having trouble functioning at work or school. Their relationships are struggling. They maybe have no relationships because they're so isolated because of their eating disorder, self-injury, whatever. Yeah, and Aaron P says, it took me 15 years to decide that I hated where I was and felt like I wanted to change. And that's the thing. It's like we can't, the wanting to change is hard. That's the hard, I think that's one of the hardest parts. But like once you start working on it and once you get to a better place, then it's so powerful, you guys, because then we know that we want to stay there. And obviously things can get stressful and we're like, oh, I'll go back to this old comfortable thing that I used to do. But I find for my clients, it can almost be traumatic when they go back into it because they're like, oh my God, that was terrible. I don't want to be back there. So yeah, just keep that in mind. I don't think anybody that I know like really wants recovery. They just don't want to be where they're at because it's terrible. Okay. Sit my water down. Let's get back into these. Britt Brat the kitty cat says, how do I know if I should pull out of my classes or quit working? My SZ. I'm looking for Z. What's SZ? It's getting out of hand again. Maybe self-injury. Is it self-harm? Is that what that was supposed to be? If the reason that I think that we need to pull out of schizophrenia. Gotcha. Thanks, Britt. If it's becoming unmanageable, Britt, I would pull out. If you're afraid, the only reason I ever have clients pull out of school or work or anything like that is if we cannot keep up. Like with school, if you feel like your grades are just going to slide into an oblivion and you don't want that on your record, then you talk to your therapist, they write you a letter, you pull out. And it doesn't harm your GPA, it doesn't affect your future. We can like nip it in the bud right now. Or if work is the same, if you feel like you can't keep up and you're afraid it's going to like ruin your reputation at work and potentially get you fired or anything like that, that's when we have to pull ourselves out. It's not something that we would do lightly. It's not something that I would ever have people do without worrying the repercussions of it. And so I would encourage you to consider if you're able to keep up. If you're able to keep up with what you're doing, it sounds like you're not, or you would never have asked the question. So I think that we're going to have to let go of something, but I would look into it. I would consider if I'm able to even do what what they're asking of me in school and work, which one's the easiest to give up, which one would give us the most relief and allow us to take better care of our mental health, and then make that choice. But talk to people and consider it. Like, talk to your therapist, talk to your team, and talk to yourself about it. Think about it, consider what's best, consider what you really need. Maybe you can't do either right now. Maybe we need to take a month or two off. That's completely fine. You're early on in the semester. If it's school-based, it's easy to pull out right now. And as far as work goes, you can take a medical leave too. You can apply for that. So just keep that in mind. Hopefully that that helps. Tanya asks, what is LGBT? I'm new here. LGBT is an acronym. I almost said analogy. It's an acronym, and it stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender. And a lot of people will also add a QIA at the end, but a lot of people just put a plus. And QIA is questioning, Q is questioning, I is intersex, and A is asexual. And so it's just kind of an acronym that we use for that community of people. And it's something that they usually, queer plus. That's sheepishness. It's funny, when I was reading, I read 3 different books for the LGBT workbook, and a lot of them just said queer. That's the word that they use. And they're like, I know people used to use it, as like a put down or a slur, but I own it, and that's what I like to call it because it's all encompassing. So anyway, that's what it stands for. Thanks, Yoitz. Yoitz is here. Woo, 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 woo. Okay. Christina says, Katie, I'm 38 from Illinois. Welcome. I need a full-time job. What's a good job for people dealing with depression? Thank you, Yoitz. I honestly think that it depends on what you like to do. Just because you have depression doesn't hold you back from anything. You can do whatever you want as long as you're managing your symptoms. I think for my clients who have depression, if it's really bad, also my clients with anxiety, working in the back and not having to be at the front, meaning, like, let's say we're talking restaurant. Not having to work the cash, but being able to like clean and prep stuff in the back, much better, because having to interact with people can be really exhausting and it can be really anxiety provoking. And so those are certain things that I consider. Oh, and Sadie Girl's got a good idea. She says work with animals. I think working, you'd rather be in the front and have depression, Melita says. So I honestly think it's up to you. There's no right answer. Having depression should not hold you back or prevent you from getting a job. I would encourage you to find treatment ASAP if you're not receiving any, whether that be a therapist if you can afford it, whether that be, thanks silly redhead, woo woo woo, whether that be seeing a psychiatrist or doctor and getting on some medication just to help you get out of the fog so that you can get a job. But just consider what you enjoy doing, what doesn't seem like too much work emotionally for you. And then pick from there. Pick some things that sound good. Like, working with animals. I know, Karen, I wish I could work with animals too. Anyway, that's my advice. Hold This Pain says, how can LGBT people find help in homophobic communities? It's really hard because it can't always be in person. So what I would encourage you, if you are in a very conservative area, a lot of middle America in the South still are not LGBT friendly. And I know a lot of countries aren't friendly, and just people in general. And something that I think could be really helpful is online resources, having groups and people you talk to online. Also just doing some searching, because often not too far from where we live, let's say to the nearest larger city, let's say you're religious and you want to attend church, there are LGBT plus positive churches and you can go to that. There are groups you can join. There are events you can attend. There's a lot of different things. And obviously all of that is like your ability to get around and financially doable for you. But other than that, just getting online and finding communities that are, positive and supportive like ours. So that's kind of what I would, everyoneisgay.com. They, Carly, what's the event that Kristen does every year? It's like, not Saddle, what's it called? It's an event she goes to, and it's always in the mountains, and I don't know if it's LGBT plus as a whole or if it's lesbians only. Oh, but it's called something. Autostraddle. That's what it's called. Autostraddle. Yeah, A-Camp. So Autostraddle's like, it was an event. I think that must have been what it used to be called. Anyway, she does that every year. So there's a lot of things. Start looking into it. Yeah, A-Camp. Yeah, Tommy Reader. Exactly. So you can look into those things too. Okay. Let's see. Scully Girl says, why do I stop breathing in therapy? I don't even realize I'm doing it, and my tea has reminded me to breathe. It's that damned anxiety, man. When we get maxed out and we are talking about something that's really difficult, we don't breathe. Something that I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at me. I'm laughing because, oh yay, June just finished work. So I find that when I'm in yoga and I'm doing a pose that's really difficult for me, or I just that day find it particularly hard, I stop breathing almost immediately. And my teachers at one point or another will always say, make sure you're still breathing, because when things get hard, you can't just stop breathing. And it's almost like we do it without realizing it, you guys. Like, things get really stressful and hard and we just like stop. We just completely stop breathing. And I don't know why that is. I think part of it is like we lose awareness of how we're doing. And so we just stop. I don't know. So anyway, just being aware. I think that part of that's like mindfulness and being aware of how we're doing and how we're feeling and making sure we're breathing, taking care of ourselves. Okay. Oh, hey, Hakoki. Hakoki's here. Oh, Sean, I was like, what's happening? Sean's phone. He's on the phone. You guys, we're over halfway. We're almost to the giveaway, 100K giveaway. Woo, woo, woo. Okay. Right, Sophie? So sometimes I forget to breathe and it's like, really, Bonnie? This is one of the most important functions. Get it together. It's true. But it's just like, we just forget. It's weird. I don't know why we do that, but we do. Okay. Oh, and you guys, if you live in, which I'm assuming most of you who are in Australia are not on this, but if you're in Australia and I'm coming and you're wondering if I'm having a meetup, I will be tweeting it out. I'll be posting it. I am having a meetup at VidCon Australia. It's on Saturday. I believe it's from 1 to 2. And I forget the name of the room, but it's like something 7. And it's like we're in like the bigger hall and they put some tables out for us. So know that that is all good to go. Thank you, Brett, the kitty Kent. Woo, woo, woo. Okay. Magical Cat Lady says, that's a fun name, by the way. How can we tell if an abusive, estranged parent has changed their abusive habits? I want to talk to them, but I'm too afraid of being hurt again. I think the way we figure that out is by not doing all or nothing. We're not in or out. We're not back in relationship with them or not. Like, we are testing the waters. So I would encourage you to attend, if you can, attend a group thing where they're going to be, like a family dinner or event. We can kind of pop in and out of conversation with them and just kind of observe how they are. I do believe people can change, but I don't believe we should be stupid and forget everything that's happened. We can forgive, but I want you to still be cognizant, like you said, like that we don't get hurt again. And so I would encourage you to do something like that if you can, or just see them once. And when you see them, let them know. If you feel like you can do this, then this means you're at a safe place for you to get back in touch. If you feel that you could sit down with them and you could say, you know, I don't know if I'll want to see you again. I just thought I would at least attempt to see how things are, and have that conversation and let them know. So we'll just see, but I at least wanted to connect and see how you're doing. Leave that.
Oh, is Maureen going to guest?
And know that we're not doing guests today.
Oh, I didn't know.
Anyways, and let them know that that's where you're at. And if you feel that you can let them know that that's where you're at and you're okay with that, then that means you're at a safe place to meet them, because you, back to the thing that I talked about with Brené Brown and Oprah, you can trust yourself and know that you can leave. And I want you to feel that. I want you to know that you can before you ever get back in contact with them. Because I do believe people can change, but let's say they don't and it's bad again. I want you to know that you're going to be okay and you can get out, push away, boom. And I want there to be no hesitation in that. So yeah, consider that first, and then try to see them in a group setting if you can. And if you can't, then, you know, go grab coffee, something that's very short time limited, so you can leave if you have to. Bye, Sophie. Everybody said you had to go. Bummer. Oh, bye, Melissa. Thanks for popping in and hanging out with us. Sadie wants to know if you got her some coffee.
Yes, I did.
He didn't get me any coffee.
Oops.
UK, thank you for the likes. Woo, 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 woo. You guys, 61,000. We're cruising right along. Okay. Every time someone leaves, that jumps so fast. Oh my God, what did they say? Oh, bye, Felicia. I know, right, Morgan? Bye. Thanks, Jamie. Woo, woo. Okay. Charlotte Hall says, how to deal with mental health and grief, especially losing appetite and struggling with anorexia. Getting support. I can't tell you how. Thanks, Jamie. Woo, woo. I can't tell you how helpful therapy was for me and talking to close people in my life about losing my dad.
Spamming.
Yeah. Valentina, you don't have to spam, honey. You have to wait because I'm already answering one question now. So just give it a minute, okay? So anyways, grief is hard and it comes and goes. And therapy, there's grief groups too that are super, super helpful. I think talking about it, man, that's what's helped me the most. That's what kept me going. That's what made me feel okay. And having a therapist support me and talk me through it is what saved me. So make sure that you're talking to someone. If you're struggling with anorexia because it's coming back because your hunger fullness is all off because you're grieving, talk to your therapist about that. Get some extra support. Maybe we go back on a meal plan for a while. It's okay. Grief is hard. And when we lose people closest to us, it takes us a while to kind of get back into ourselves. Do you know what I mean? So be patient with yourself, okay? Okay. Thanks, silly redhead. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah, Pyropix says, I'm dealing with grief today. It's painful and I just want to cry. It can be really hard, and be patient with yourself. It's okay. It's okay to feel. It's okay to have a shit day. It's okay to not get out of bed sometimes. Let yourself feel it, process it. Just make sure you're talking about it, okay? Maureen, you should totally write a song about coffee. I think that would be amazing. Okay, Mergen says, oh yeah. Mergen says we keep an eye out for our Kenyans, but sometimes it takes her a bit before she can answer another question. Exactly. Because when I'm answering one already, I don't look at the chat because then I get distracted. We all know, and then I don't answer the question at all. And so I have to let it just go.
Squirrel.
Sean started music, Britt. That's what he did. But anyways, that's why I just kind of don't look at the chat when I'm answering so I can finish my question first. Oh, Jamie, you just want to stay home today too, but I figured just make it worse. Sometimes it does. Like, something about staying home. I know, squirrel. Something about staying home and having too much time to think. It can make it worse. Do you know what I mean, you guys? So, yeah, sometimes it's best to keep a little bit busy. Okay. I know, I've heard, okay, Billy Hawkins, I've heard coffee in Melbourne is awesome. You guys, okay, I have to share it with you. I'm getting my phone. That's, if you wonder what I'm doing, I'm getting my phone. So, okay, let's see. We took notes from a guy that we met at one of our favorite pizza places. He was telling us things to do in Melbourne, you guys. And he said that we had to go to Duke's Coffee. And you have to order the Magic. That's the type that you get. He also told us Curry Cafe on High Street is good. And Dallasford City. I'm saying that way wrong. Anyway, I have some things to do. So if you have any ideas and things that you think that we should try. Oh, Marjorie agrees. Curry Cafe. So anyways, yes, let me know if you have any places that you'd like us to try or any things to recommend. Sean and I are looking for things to do. Okay. Oh, yay, silly redhead. Woo, woo, woo. She says, okay, take your earbuds out. Yay, yay, yay. She says, I found I was able to finally quit biting my nails as a positive symptom after months of therapy. First time ever. Woo, 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 woo. Okay, let's see. Andrew B says, I suffered a really bad breakup recently. Is it possible to suffer a trauma or PTSD from a really bad breakup? We were best friends before dating. I don't believe, unless, the reason that we'd have PTSD is if we feel like we're traumatized, meaning we feared for our life or our safety in some fashion. And obviously, like I talked with Alexa, there are big T's and little T's, meaning we can have a bunch of little scary things happen that affect us in the same way one big thing can. I'm just doing T's if you wonder. I don't think that's necessary, but you get
gang signs.
No gang. I don't even know that stuff. But keeping that in mind, if something did happen that was really frightening, I don't know your relationship, if there was any abuse or any any type of abuse, emotional, physical, sexual, then gang signs. Kenyan gang, right?
Oh, Kenyan gang, what's up?
Anyways, other than that, I think a lot of what we feel when we have a really bad breakup is grief. And grief can be confusing, and we can be angry, and we can be sad, and we can be upset, and all this stuff. And so I would just encourage you, Andrew, if you're having a really hard time with this, talk to somebody. See a therapist. breakups are hard. It's not like it's not enough to want to get help or not enough to talk about it. The sooner we talk about things that are upsetting to us, the better. So I would just encourage you to do that. But if you did feel, would a Kenyan gang sign be a K? I know, like a...
Oh, no gang signs!
Is that cool? I don't think that's cool. What if we just did this? This
capture the moment.
This is a gang sign. But yes.
No, that's bye.
No, that's this way.
Oh.
Yeah, this way. You guys, we're so cool. I know, right? UK agrees. We're so cool. Okay. Anyways, that's my advice for that. So talk to somebody. You're one cool cat. Okay, thanks, Mark. Okay, Valentina says, I have an enormous emotional ability which I use when I act on stage. I make myself believe this ability comes from still being underweight. Eating disorder. True? Not at all. We don't have to be underweight, overweight, unhealthy in any fashion to be an empathic badass. Thanks, UK. Woo, 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 woo. And what I think about that is that you are talented and it comes from you. Don't let your eating disorder take that from you. Tell it to fuck off. It's lying. It's not it that makes you better. You are great. It's actually probably holding you back from taking more roles and doing more. We just can't see it yet because we're stuck in it. So don't listen. It lies. I tell you. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Rebecca says, for someone who's struggling with maladaptive daydreaming disorder, would you recommend a specialist? Yes. A lot of what that comes from is usually trauma-based. And I know that can sound like a lot of people are like, but I wasn't really traumatized. But oftentimes when we're younger, things that were really scary to us then happened. And as an adult, we're like, well, nothing really bad. It wasn't actually anything bad. But at the time, it was traumatizing. And I find that that's something that we don't always recognize, is that things can be really, really scary when we're children. But as an adult looking back, we're like, well, it wasn't bad. But we can have things that we've developed as a result, like maladaptive daydreaming or any kind of dissociation. It can come out of that. And so I would just encourage you to check into that. Yeah, and Sheepishness just put my video about maladaptive daydreaming up. I would talk to somebody and get some support, because the sooner you talk to it, I'd look into a trauma specialist, or if someone specializes in dissociative disorders, I would talk to them. I've got a floof on me. Did I get it? A floof. It was a floof. Okay, let's see. David Pack, you don't have to spam. I just look for questions and I try to answer as many as I can. It's just me. I'm doing the best I can. And Livia, some of these are bold because those are people who are subscribed to my YouNow, and you can do that. That's why they have the tree also, and they can also send their chats across the screen. It makes it easier for me to read, like Charlotte's there. And she said, do not spam. Jose, how do I say your name? Is it Jose or is it Joseka? New Joseka? I want to make sure I'm saying it properly. It says, some mental illnesses are incurable. Euthanasia should be a right? Question mark. Spam-a-llama ding-dong, Sean. I truly, I mean, you can disagree and this is completely fine. Oh, bye, Emily. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for making our time together so much more fun. Yay, yay. I know we are so close to 50 shares. I do not believe that there are mental illnesses that are going to be so debilitating consistently that that euthanasia should be a right. I know people are going to argue about this, but I believe that with proper help and working on it, we can get better and we can make life more enjoyable. I mean, whether or not you want to live or not, that is your choice. And I don't want to say right, but it's your choice. Because we all have the choice to work on things. We all have the choice to live our life. We all have the choice to kill ourselves or not. Like, those are choices. I know that sounds crazy, but it's the truth. And I think that by saying it so black and white, like, oh, things are incurable, that's not what we're really talking about. Ooh, UK is a new subscriber. Woo, 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 woo. Welcome to the family. I think that what we should focus more on, instead of worrying about it being a right or not, because a lot of people are, battling that out. I think we should focus more on fixing our mental health system so that people, when they need help, can get help. Because that's the real problem, you guys. It's not, are certain things incurable and it's so terrible that people can't get better. It's how come we're not helping people earlier on and giving them the support they need when they need it. That's what we should focus on, because then what I actually believe to be true could be okay, because people can get the help and start feeling better. Because the only reason people want to end their life is because they feel hopeless, like nothing's ever going to improve, and there's no reason for living. So that's kind of, those are my thoughts. Okay. Oh, Bailey sent a heart. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, that's how I feel about it, you guys. Okay. Let's see. I'm singing to the song.
Musical interlude brought to you by...
Okay, Katie Lane says, thoughts on ketosis and restriction. Thanks, UK. Woo, woo, woo. If you have an eating disorder past, as long as it's used short term, I think that any choices like that have to be done with the help of your doctor or dietitian, preferably both. Because I do not believe in restrictive, like when we had Julie on last Friday, she and I are very similar in our thoughts on this, and neither of us really believe in diets or restriction. I do believe there are ways that we can heal our bodies with food, but that doesn't mean that we can't eat certain things and we have to essentially stop eating whole types of food. Yes, please. Thank you. We put milk in it, please.
We or I? You? Me?
What do you mean?
You said will. Oh, I said never mind.
He's getting me coffee. So I think, anyways, I think that, sorry, now I got distracted. See, it happens. But I don't believe in diets. I don't believe in restricting certain types of food, even if it's short term. I honestly believe we should work more about like the why. Why are we using food this way? Why is it that this feels better to us? When did this start? The learning the root of the root, like Julie talked about. Okay? And she's amazing, Erin. Thanks for setting that up. Okay. Oh, you Concordia means Thunderdog? Thunderdog. I think I probably knew that. I'm sorry. We had a whole conversation about this, and then I was so busy trying to remember how to pronounce it, promptly forgot. And so that's, yeah. Britt, you can take a coffee, tea, potty break if you need. Well, Sean's going to get me coffee, and I don't have to pee yet. And we have 30 minutes left, so I think I'm going to make it. DJ Blurf, right? I know, Ralph. Sean's so good to me. He got me more coffee. Charlotte Hall says, is it possible for... Said that way too fast. Is it possible for a professional to lie about a diagnosis? I mean, it's possible, but is it probable? I'd hope not. I can never imagine myself... First of all, I've never lied to a client. That just seems... I will do some karaoke, Antonia. Thanks for reminding me. I can do it actually tonight. Follow along on Snapchat if you would like to hear. It was singing on a jet plane, or singing. It was leaving on a jet plane. What was the other song? Sean will remember. I think it was The Gambler. You gotta know when to hold 'em. Thanks, UK. Woo woo. Yes, Carly, unethical. I agree. So the Malrain, maybe you sing your original song. You're the last guest that we have, and then you sing us out. Ta-da! How's that sound? Yes, it was The Gambler. Melita remembers. Oh, Katie Lane's having her first pumpkin coffee of the season. But focus, Katie, focus. If a therapist is lying to you, that's bullshit, and I probably wouldn't see them. That I just can't, even if I take some time to just think about it, I cannot think of a reason why I would ever lie to a client. I just would never do that. So, yeah. Yeah, Silly Redhead, we're singing karaoke. So yeah, I would never lie. So I think that's really bad. I know, right? Apple cider. Yum, Jamie. I know. It's the thing about this. Thanks, UK. Oh, bye, Tony. I'll see you at VidCon. And like I said, the, oh, you want the, you want to take it back? Did you put milk in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did.
Okay. Silly Redhead says, I spot a Sean. Edwin says, how can I get Playlist DC tickets over there? I'm not sure. Are they sold? I don't think they're sold out. You can still get the tickets, and I'm doing a meetup there. I'm doing, I know musical cups. It's true, Jamie. I'm doing, the meetup. It's Saturday morning at 10 a.m. I'm meetup group number 4. And the one in Australia, you guys, is on Saturday, I believe, from 1 to 2. and it's in something number 7. They told me, they're like, please don't tell your fans. We don't want them waiting outside forever, hoping for you to come by. Oh no, Melinda, I'm sorry. Thanks, Katie. Oh, woo woo.
Wait, what?
But anyways, I was like, my fans aren't like that. They're super respectful. They'll come for the time. I think it's 1 o'clock. I have an hour, so 1 o'clock we'll sit down. I know, I don't know, Jamie. 10 a.m. So early. But anyways, I'll have the meetup then. So I will tweet out and I'll put on Facebook and I'll post everywhere where the meetup is for VidCon Australia. I am doing one. Don't worry. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Oh, and was it you, Simply Redhead? Someone? Oh, yeah. Oh, no, Becca. You have similar photos. Becca's is yellow flowers. They both have yellow flowers.
I thought it was macaroni and cheese.
Mac and cheese?
Yeah, yellow flowers.
It's flowers, I think.
Oh!
We got a monkey in the house! Woo, 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 woo! Yeah, we're going bananas. Who's going bananas? Aaron P's going bananas. Woo, 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 woo! Thanks, Aaron. Yeah! Woo, 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 woo! Thank you. 19,000. Holy moly! It almost puts us to the giveaway. Aaron. Yay!
Is Erin wearing a Snapchat filter?
Erin, she does. She has a Snapchat filter. She got the cute little nose and ears.
I was like, what?
Yeah, she changed it a while ago.
Oh, okay. I was like, what is that?
Thank you, Erin. Woo, woo, woo. Okay. So we're almost to 100. We're almost going to do a giveaway. Almost a giveaway. Janie's making mac and cheese right now. Ooh. I know. I think Sean's hungry. That's what I would think, too. Okay. Get to the job. I love that YouTube just has, like, that over and over, or monkeys over and over. He's got a million views. Thanks, Jamie. Woo, woo, woo. Oh, Tommy Reader just ate mac. Hey, if someone doesn't like mac and cheese, you know, maybe
suspect.
They are. You just don't know. Thank you guys for all the likes, Jackie. Thank you. Okay, Issa Monkey, get to the chopper. Malrain says, get to the chopper. That's what Sophie and I said when we almost got hit by a tram. Oh, no. Oh, no, sheep. Stuck in the library. I know mac and cheese does. It sounds good. It's always good. And homemade, right, Melita? Making it homemade is the best. Thanks, Smashing Pumpkins. Woo, woo, woo. So Chelsea has a good question. And she says, what do you do if you don't feel safe? How do you feel safe in an unsafe situation? I literally have nowhere safe to go. I guess my question is, oh, this is such a good song. The truth of it, the first question I have for you is like, are you in a situation where you're actually getting harmed all the time? Or do you just have nowhere that feels safe? And the reason that I ask this is because if you're constantly in this unsafe situation where you literally are worried for your life or your safety, like people keep harming you, tell somebody, please reach out, talk to the police, talk to a teacher. I don't know how old you are, but talk to somebody and get some help. Thanks, Smashing Pumpkin. Woo, woo. So there's that. The second part is if everything just feels unsafe, please reach out to a trauma specialist. Being hypervigilant, which is what that is, and we feel like a slamming door is like, oh my God, what is that? And we feel like we're always on edge, like we're in a war zone, or we're back in our, home where we grew up, where it was always abusive and terrible. Anyways, if that's the issue, that's something that is healed through trauma work and therapy. And so I would encourage you to see somebody and talk about it, because once we process through all the trauma that we sustained, then that like jumpiness and feeling like we're, ooh, that's that moth again. I have to get it. Prophecies. It's the Mothman prophecy. Anyway, working through that will make that go away, okay? Thanks, Smashing Pumpkin is coming in hot. We're number 30, Davis. That's crazy. Yeah, I have to agree with Kat Mina. Diet pills are not good, and they can be extremely harmful to your body in so many ways. Yes, totally. Sadie Girl says, yes, being like that for a long time and it can exhaust you. Yeah, a lot of my clients who who struggle with like trauma in their past and they're trying to process through it will sleep like 12 hours at night just because all day you're on edge. Imagine if all day every noise startled you, every person walking behind you makes you anxious. Like, just imagine that's exhausting. Thanks, Smashing Pumpkin. You're all over this today. Woo woo, coming in hot on a Wednesday morning. Artsy Pow asks, what are hallucinations? Moth the Goth. That's cute. Hallucinations are when we see or feel something that is not there. Hallucinations are a positive symptom of psychosis and schizophrenia, meaning we're adding something to our environment. That's why like seeing something that no one else sees, hearing something no one else hears, or feeling. We can have tactile hallucinations, which can be like, I had a client that felt like everybody was pinching her butt, or people feel like there's bugs under their skin, or things like that. So we can see them, hear them, or feel them. Hope that explains. Yes, I can't believe that, Aaron. I forgot about that when you said you went to your doctor for help and they gave you diet pills. So frustrating. Am I right? Rabid mouse, hallucinations from med tapering or withdrawal. We can get hallucinations as a side effect of medication and withdrawal from medication. So if you are experiencing any of that, if you just started something new, please, 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 please tell your doctor, okay? Okay. Let's see. Sarah, if you're not eating regularly, meaning, you know, 3 meals a day at least, or something to that effect, ideally 3 meals, 3 snacks, eating every 3 to 4 hours. If you're controlling it on purpose, if you're only eating 1 meal a day or doing something on purpose and you're controlling it because it's all you think about and all that you can think about, then that is an eating disorder and I would talk to somebody, okay? Yes, Janie, and I'm saying that right, is it Jane or Janie? Thanks, Smashing Pumpkin, you're all over it today. Says, I startle easily, exaggerated startle reflexes that only come from trauma. It doesn't only come from trauma, but that's the most common thing that I see. Obviously, I'm a therapist, so I see people when they come to me when they're hurting and having a hard time, but that's a really, really common side effect of it. It comes from some form of PTSD. In my opinion, that's honestly the only reason, because I'm running through my head all the other reasons, and trauma can come from a lot of different ways. And so everything I think of that I'm like, oh wait, but that, I'm like, well, that's still trauma. So yeah, it does come from PTSD in some form. Thanks, Brat, the kitty cat. Woo woo. Oh, like Jane. Okay, Jane. Well, I hope that answers your question, Jane. Yeah, Charlotte, that's actually very normal. Meal plan 3 meals and 4 snacks. Yeah, because you have your night snack. That's my favorite. I used to always have, when I worked at the eating disorder clinic, my night snack was always birthday cake ice cream. It was delicious. Okay. I actually miss working there because they always had so many food options and I just got to pick whatever I wanted. It was nice. I didn't have to go grocery shopping. Food was provided with work. Damn it. Okay. Oh, it's okay, Britt. Thank you for using your bars on this broadcast. That's so nice of you. Okay. Oh, Melita, I missed the other part of it. I know, right? Sadie, me too. I love a night snack. Okay, Karen says, Katie, do you think trauma is one of the biggest contributors to mental health struggles? Yes. And here's why. I believe that, I'm always reading, right? I'm always trying to learn, to do better, to make more videos for you guys, and to educate. I find it so fascinating. Thanks, Bridget. Woo. But I think, thanks, Aaron P. Yay, yay, yay. I think that trauma is the biggest contributor because we often think of trauma as these large things, right? And what I've been reading about more recently, like I just said, is that when we're children and we have a traumatic event happen to us, it doesn't, not to say it doesn't take much to upset a child, but a lot of times it doesn't take as much to traumatize a child because we're not as developed mentally. We don't always understand situations. We can be scared really easily. And so I think that we don't recognize so often all the traumas and little T's maybe that happened when we were little. Does that make sense? And we look back on them as an adult and we poo-poo them. We're like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. And so I believe that a lot of us are still acting out of trauma that we had in our childhood, and that's what leads us to have anxiety or depression or eating disorder, self-injury, you name it. I think that it's the largest contributor because people think that traumas are only these huge things, and they're not. Trauma can be a lot of different things, and if we have a bunch of little T's throughout our life, how does that make us feel? We probably have a little bit of hypervigilance. We probably also aren't very trusting of people, or maybe our anxiety goes through the roof. We have social anxiety. It could be all sorts of different things like that. And so I think that, that's why I think it's such a big issue. And the fact is also when it comes to abuse, if we talk just abuse when it comes to trauma, I think that, because we know that if we are abused, we're more likely to be abusive. And I'm not saying this to make it okay or to say that you're for sure going to do that, but we know there's a higher percentage of that. So then it just cycles round and round and round and round through our families. And I think that that's another contributor to mental health issues. And then also addiction comes on top of that. I think that a lot of it comes out of trauma. Karen, yes, I completely agree with you. Okay. It would be cool to vote up parts of chat. Thanks, Aaron P.
You read my comment?
Woo woo. I read your comment. I see you. Yes, I do have a video on dissociation, Breezy, if you're asking for that. Thanks, Aaron P. I know. I don't either, Becca. Sometimes I don't understand why these things got to happen. I don't either. Thanks, Shania. But the sooner we talk about it and the more we talk about it, hopefully we can slowly stop this cycle that we're caught in, you know? I haven't heard of that. Silly Redhead says, Katie, have you heard of the Dare book by Barry McDonough? It helped me so much with panic disorder and GAD. No, I haven't heard of it. Very, very interesting. Oh, hypervigilance. I'm sorry. Thank you for asking, Rhinex Nealon. I don't know. It moved and now I don't see your name, but thanks for asking that question. Hypervigilance is when we are easily startleable and we are, we're already kind of in fight or flight. Hypervigilance is when we hear a noise and we jump. We're very, very acutely aware of our surroundings and noises because we feel like we could be attacked at any moment. So we're very aware and aroused. And I'm using aroused as the term, like people use that sexually, but arousal can mean a lot of different things. I'm just throwing that out there. Arousal can be like on edge, like feeling everything. All of my senses are aware and aroused, and we pay attention to everything because we feel really, really frightened. And like something could always happen that's harmful. Is that the best? That's the best way I could explain it. Thanks, Nirvana Sparkles. Woo, 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 woo. I know, right? Say that 3 times fast. Startleable. Ahmed says, use your smile to change life, but don't let life change your smile. I love that quote. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, thank you. Thanks, Jamie. Woo, 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 woo. Someone's got a monkey. Is a monkey coming? Somebody get a monkey? Is somebody's avatar a monkey? That would be really funny. Okay. Thanks, silly redhead. Woo woo. Okay. Paula X Para, I have my first psychiatrist appointment tomorrow. What advice would you have for me to prepare or expect for my appointment? I've had counseling therapy prior. So psychiatrists aren't as warm. This is all I would tell you. This is how I would prepare. Psychiatrists are not as warm and fuzzy as therapists. Just prepare yourself for that. They're much more like medically driven. So it's like what symptoms. I would write down what you're feeling and what you're wanting from them. Write down anything that you've been experiencing. Write down the questions you have and just read off of it because often they're in and out in like 10 minutes. Some are better, but I want you to prepare for that because it can be really hard. And sometimes you feel like they're not warm. So we're like, oh, we're just trying to get comfortable. And then they're gone. And we haven't asked any questions or gotten any answers. And so I would write down, oh, we hit 100,000. We're going to do a giveaway. Woo, 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 woo. Okay. So, yes, and Melita's right. I do have a video on first appointments and preparing. But just do those 2 things. Know that they're not. Oh, Brandy, we got a new Patreon patron. Woo, 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 woo. And I will be doing a Patreon live stream, but it'll be after we get back. Remember, I told you they have live stream capability. Yay! But they're not as warm. Write down all your questions and concerns and symptoms. Oh, good, Minimalist Goth. And there are some that are great. There are some psychiatrists that are amazing. But I want to prepare you in case they aren't so that you still get all your needs met. But write down all the things. Write down all your symptoms. Ask all your questions. Yeah. That's my advice. Okay. Let's do, oh, I'm invisible. Did I study psychology to help me better understand myself? Actually, no. I actually got into therapy just because I really enjoyed, even as a kid, like listening to other people. And I enjoyed, I think truthfully, if I didn't know that therapist was a thing, I probably would have become an anthropologist because I really find like the way that people work and the reasons that we do things fascinating. And so therapy is a way to not only observe that and see that, but then also help that, if it's bad or unhealthy, stop happening and make it better and help people grow. And so I think that's actually why I enjoy it so much and why I ended up becoming a therapist. Because for a while, even before I went to grad school, my mom was like, you might want to consider trying other jobs and considering other things to make sure you really want this. Like before you spend more money, because I paid for all my own school, if you don't know. Remember I said maybe I has $100,000 lying around, send it my way, pay off my student loans. But I looked into like a culinary school because I was like, maybe I'll be a pastry chef. I really like that. And then I realized you only work at night and that's really hard and you don't have any days off that other people have off, and socially that would be bad for me. So anyway, I looked into all other things before I went to grad school, and then I loved it. So I really think people, I think people are fascinating, and I like to not only observe and understand, but, and I think understanding is the biggest part of it, seeking to understand and then working with them to grow. So, oh, thanks, Bailey. Have a good one. Thanks for hanging out with us. Maybe I'll be a YouTuber. I know that's not anything that I ever thought of. It's crazy that this is something that I do. It's awesome. And it's all because of you. Like each and every one of you, it's because of you that I'm able to do what I do. Because Sean and I were actually just talking, somebody was asking, it's like a newer YouTuber, they're like, when did you decide this was going to be what you do most of your time? Because I'm only in my office 1 day a week, you guys.
Still haven't decided.
Still haven't decided. No, yeah, same, Erin. She didn't want to get in the cold. That's so funny. We're the same. But they were asking when did I decide that it would be something I do full time, and I was like, you know, it was actually like a year and a half ago. It was right before I started Patreon, when Sean and I had like a family meeting where I was like, I'm gonna have to go back to work. I'm gonna have to, like, I even said, I was like, I'll work at Starbucks, and I don't have any, you know, I don't have too much ego about it. I just need to make more money so we can keep doing this thing. But because of all of my wonderful Patreon patrons, I've been able to pay my bills and do this. So I can't thank you enough. You make it possible. Yeah, it allows me to put out more videos, and you get your questions answered, and I hang out with some of you, and I send out wonderful gifts and cards and all sorts of things. Yeah, Karen, Patreon is opening a beta that I'm part of for live streaming. And I could have done it today, but a lot of you on Patreon were like, can you please do it on a weekend? But since I'm gone, I'm at Playlist Live, and then we're going to Australia, it won't be for a few weeks, but I will do one when I get back, and we'll do it on a weekend so we can see what it's all about. Thanks, Silly Redhead, for putting that in the link. Thanks, Carly. Magic Every Month Patreon is a way for you to support creators that you like what they do, and you want to support them financially. You can give anything from $1 to whatever your budget can afford, and you get rewards as a result. So that's really what it is. And you can hop over there and you can read about it, and you can see what my page is. People are putting the links in the chat. I offer different rewards at different tiers, everything from t-shirts to gifts to hanging out with me for an hour to hanging out with me and other Kenyans for an hour. Tommy Reader, I don't really know about Atypical. I'm not sure what that is. Okay, let's do our giveaway. Let's do our giveaway, because I'm going to have to go like right. I have 7 minutes. I've got to get off because I'm meeting my friend for lunch. Okay, who should win our giveaway, you guys? Who should win? I have to say Nevada Sparkles has come in hot. I don't think I'll be able to live stream on Friday, Jamie, just because I'll be traveling. If I get to Playlist and I have time, I will, but with landing, I can't really time it, because when I land and I have to go and get like they have like a bus that picks us up, so I have to find my bus, I have to get to the hotel, and then I figure out where I need to be. Thanks, Rebecca! We got a new Patreon patron in the house! Woo, 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 woo. So, anyway, I don't know, but I'll try. If I can, I will. Erin, she did a lot of monkeys. Erin did do a lot of monkeys. Silly Redhead wants one. Nevada Sparkles has gotten us here too. So has Jamie. There's a lot of people here. Julie P wants one. Smashing Pumpkin has come out hot today. What do we think? Think Nevada Sparkles, Smashing Pumpkin, Silly Redhead. Karen says Nevada Sparkles. Ooh, Britt likes the music, Sean. Nevada Sparkles, Nevada Sparkles. Okay, Nevada Sparkles, you're our winner. Woo, 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 woo. Yay, yay, yay. Let's do 2. Silly Redhead, you're our other winner. Yay, winner, winner, chicken dinner. Okay, so we have 2 winners. I gotta get my posties. Of course, Nevada, thank you. Okay, Nevada, sorry, I'm writing this down on the table, so it's gonna wiggle waggle a little bit. So we have Silly Redhead and Nevada Sparkles. Okay, Nevada, what would you like? We have some t-shirt. First of all, we have some beautiful, beautiful socks with some pineapples on them. We have the Polaroid camera that Hannah sent me for I Heart Food. We have...
Show it. Show it. That's a good one.
I gotta pull it out. And it also comes with a little bit of film. See it? See it? Got that. I've got some stick-on nails. I've got this cute little plushie guy. I've got...
I love that.
I know, right? Steven, thanks for inviting your fans. We've got some bracelets.
Those are cool.
We've got... I know it is a sheep. We've also got a plastic poop. Everybody needs a plastic poop. I'm going to open the bottom because we've also got Jamie sent over that the book to make friendship bracelets. And pay attention to Silly Redhead to see what you would like. And then we also have like the mini Moods of Me journal, which I think is really cool too. We have another origami left. We have squirrel underwear. We have the Book of Fables that Jen Asbell sent us.
I think it's good. I think we've seen enough.
Okay, we have fidget toys.
Yeah.
And then we have some t-shirts. We have 2 of last month's t-shirt.
We should just string everything up in the background and pull it off the wall.
This is last month's t-shirt. I have a large.
That one's designed by April.
Yes, and an extra large. And then I have a double XL of the Beautiful. And that's all the t-shirts we've got left, you guys. The t-shirts go fast. I do own a toy shop, Ronnie. It's true. Okay, so first, Nirvana, what would you
Later,
like?
Jenna.
Bye, Jenna. Bye-bye. I know, right, Katie? I've been listening to a lot of Oprah. You get a giveaway, and you get a giveaway. I know it's funded by the Kenyans. It's the Kenyan boutique.
Karen likes the colors.
Oh, she does? Yay! Okay, cool. So, Nirvana, what would you like? Oh, Silly Redhead wants to see those squirrel underpants. You got it, honey bunny.
Don't ask squirrels to see their underpants. They won't show you their nuts.
They won't show you their nuts. That is so funny. Oh my god. Okay, so what would you, Nirvana and Silly Redhead, what would you both like? Let me know. And I will look in the comments and then I'll put this on there and get those out to you. Oh, Becca's going to write a Kenyan theme song. Yay, yay. Mergen says that's just nuts. That's so good. I have to leave Kenyan land, or is it a ville? I don't know. Kenyanville or Kenyan land? What do we think? What do we like it to sound like more? Okay, so Nirvana and Silly Redhead, you have to let us know. Nirvana wants the beautiful shirt. Okay, perfect. Nirvana, you've got the beautiful. This one, it is a double XL. And that will work, right? I think it's a Ville. Silly Redhead wants a Polaroid. You got it. Okay, so we've got the beautiful shirt and we got the Polaroid. I'll put the squirrel underpants away for another time. They will be wanted at some point. I forget who sent that. Was you Sophie that sent those? Kenyanville. Kenyanville. And here's your Polaroid. And it comes with some, I think that's all. Yeah, it comes with some of these. So, okay. Let's see. So Nirvana wants the t-shirt. And Silly Redhead wants the Polaroid. I'm putting your posties on them. I'll get those out ASAP. Okay. Yay. Yay, 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 you guys. So much fun. Okay. Maureen, we'll have to hear your song another time because I'm running out of time because we had giveaways and exciting things happening. Toughest decision all morning. I know. I like the Kenyanville. The K villains in the house. I love it, Aaron. Kenyan verse. This is awesome. Oh, Brianna's birthday is Saturday. Well, happy early birthday. I hope you get totally spoiled and have a good time. Okay.
You know what that music means?
Oh, I don't know what that music means.
We're running out of time for the show.
Oh, Melita says, okay, I have a question. How? Yes, I'll see you Saturday, Jamie. Woo, 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 woo. Says, how do you handle what your therapist asks you when you feel as if you try, you'll fail? How do you handle what your therapist asks when you feel as if you'll try to fail? I don't fully understand, Melita. I think you just do your best to try to explain. we're not always going to know how to express what we're feeling, but all we have to do is try, and they can help us along. I've helped a lot of clients try to express certain things, and, you know, I try to encourage them and ask other questions along the way, or try to finish what they're saying for them and see if that's right. So I think that you can, oh yes, so hopefully that kind of helps. Just try, just start. It's okay. If you can't say it right, you can say, that's not what I mean. I just don't know how to say it. That happens to me all the time. So, Navana Sparkles and Silly Redhead, send your address to info@katimorton.com, or if you're a Patreon patron, you can message it to me on there, and I will send those out. So make sure you don't forget to send that over so that I can actually send those out to you. Yay, yay, yay! Okay, everybody, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Wednesday. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I will maybe see you on Friday, but I don't know. I will see everyone else at Playlist Live DC. Those of you who are coming to DC, I'll see you, and then I'll see all of you in Australia soon. Have a wonderful day. Bye!